Good morning. Good morning. Happy Thursday. Welcome to Total Body Strength. We're going to go ahead and I'll get started by explaining the circuit and what is going to be coming up today. All we're going to need is a set of dumbbells. And if you want to have more than one set, that is totally fine. We're going to be doing reps of 10 to 12 today. Probably just going to stick with 10, doing 2 rounds of this circuit. So you probably only going to need one set of dumbbells, but if you want to have a heavier one and start heavier and then get lighter with the second round, totally good there. So we're going to be doing a little bit of everything today, so I'll go ahead and demonstrate that. So first, we're going to start off with some squats here. So you can hold the dumbbells either at your sides or at your shoulders, whatever is most comfortable for you. But we're going to have those feet shoulder width apart. We're squat down, squeezing the glutes, coming back up. So from the side, squatting down, keeping that back flat, nice and tight, squeezing those glutes. And then we're going to go ahead and switch over to the upper body after that. So we're going to do some squats first, and then we're going to go ahead and do some presses. So weights just above the shoulders, pressing up above head, coming right back down. So just doing some presses here. And again, we're doing reps of 10 to 12 of everything. And then after that, we're going to go back to the lower body doing some RDLs or Romanian deadlifts. So feet shoulder width apart here. Dumbbells are going to be in front of the body. And we really want to keep that core tight back flat. What we're going to do is have a slight bend in the knee, push those glutes back like we're closing a door with our butt, keeping the back nice and flat until we start to feel that pull in our hamstrings, squeezing the glutes and coming back to center. So pushing the glutes back, squeezing, coming back up. So those are the RDLs. And then after that, we're going to be in a similar position. We're going to do some rows here. So same position at the bottom here. So we're pushing those hips back. Arms are straight out in front. We're going to squeeze through the armpits, bring those dumbbells towards the butt and back down. So towards the butt, squeezing those armpits there. And then after that, we're going to do some side raises, get a little bit more shoulder work. So we're going to keep those hands on the outsides of our body, bringing the weights straight up to our sides and back down. We want to make sure our pinkies are pointed up towards the ceiling, and that's how we're going to contract that medial part of our shoulders. And then lastly, we're going to get on the ground for some dead bugs. So we're going to be on our backs here. Our knees and our ankles are at 90 degrees. We're going to have our dumbbell straight overhead. That's going to help us activate the core, pushing the belly button into the ground. We're going to extend one leg at a time. Exhale, come back to center. Just like that. And then we're going to do that 2 to 3 times, depending on how much time we have today to get through this. So that's what we're going to be doing. That's our circuit. So we're going to do 2 to 3 rounds of this, 10 to 12 reps of everything. So if you want to stick with 10 reps and do a little bit heavier weight, go for that. If you want to do a little bit lighter weight, you can definitely aim for 12 reps. So we'll be going. I'll try and get a good pace for all of us, but I'll be keeping count for everyone. But if you have any questions about anything, you can always drop in the chat or unmute yourself. And then we're going to go ahead and get started with a nice little warm up here. So we can get on the ground on our hands and our knees here and just get our hips nice and warmed up and our core warmed up. We're going to do just a couple quad rocks here. So knees are under the hips, hands under the shoulders. We're going to rock back, bring the glutes towards the heels, keeping our back nice and flat. Squeeze the glutes and back to center. So we're just going to rock back and forth a couple of times, going at your own pace, making sure you squeeze the glutes as you come back up. And where we're at, let's just go ahead and do one more here. So this is going to be our last one. Wonderful. And then to get our back a little bit more warmed up, we're going to do some active thoracic rotation here through the spine. So the thoracic spine is like the middle of our spine here. So it's still on the hands and our knees. I'm going to start with my right hand. I'll face this way for you guys. So I'm going to start with my right hand. I'm going to take it. I'm going to reach through all the way as far as I can. And then I'm going to exhale, open up towards the ceiling, hand towards the air. And then we're going to inhale again, reach through. And exhaling towards the ceiling. Great job, y'all. One more each way, reaching through as far as we can. And then towards the ceiling. And back on the ground. And now we're going to do 3 on the other side here. So left hand, reach through as far as we can. And then exhale towards the ceiling, making sure we're following our hand with our eyes as well, so we can get some rotation through our neck. So our neck is also our spine. And one more here, reaching through and exhaling towards the ceiling. And placing that hand back on the ground. And we are ready to go. So I'll definitely be reminding you guys what's coming up next. I'll let you know how many reps we have left when we get down to the 3 to 2 mark. So grab those dumbbells. We're getting ready for squats. We're starting off with squats, feet shoulder apart. And again, you can have the dumbbells at your sides, in between, or at your shoulders, whatever is most comfortable for you. I'm going to leave them at my shoulders, and we're going to go ahead and get started. So feet shoulders apart. We're just going to squat down, squeeze the glutes, come back up. We want to make sure we're not rushing this. We want to feel it through our leg muscles as we stand back up. Awesome, everyone. Exhaling as we come up, squeezing those glutes, letting those knees track past our second toe. And 2 more here. Last one. Awesome. All right, up next, we are doing some presses. So dumbbells at the shoulders here, core nice and tight. We're pressing above head, coming back down. So we're not going too fast here, making sure we're going at a nice good pace, 10 to 12. I'm doing 10, so if you're going at my pace, that's how many we're doing today. If you want to do a few more after I'm done, you can always do a few more. Great job. Exhaling as we bring those arms above head, keeping those dumbbells just over the shoulders. Don't let those elbows drop below those shoulders. 2 more here. And last one. Great job, everyone. All right. Up next, when we finish those presses, doing the RDLs here. So feet are going to be shoulder width apart. Weight is going to stay in front of us. We're going to drag those dumbbells all the way down our legs. Slight bend in the knees. We're doing 10 to 12, pushing those glutes back like we're closing a door, squeezing and coming back up. We want to make sure our chin is also tucked here. So then we're keeping our whole entire spine in one straight line. We want to make sure too that we're pushing the hips back as we keep those knees fixed. So we don't want those knees straight. We don't want to be coming forward. That's where we start to feel that in our low back. So we're having that slight bend in the knee, pushing those hips back, squeezing the glutes and coming back up. This is a great exercise to strengthen our low back as long as we are pushing those hips back as far as we can. 2 more here. Awesome, everyone. Last one. Awesome. All right, next thing we're doing is we're going to be doing those bent over rows. So same position as the bottom of our RDL. So feet are shoulders apart. Slight bend in the knee, pushing the hips back. We're going to squeeze through the armpits, bringing those dumbbells towards our butt. So we want to make sure we have our hands are going right along our thigh bone here. Squeezing, keeping those shoulder blades pinned back here. Want to make sure that we're not letting our shoulders come forward. Everything is nice and tight and flat in the back. Two more here. And last one. Awesome job. All right. After those rows, last thing we're doing before we get on the ground is going to be the side raises here. So hands at the sides of our bodies, pinkies towards the ceiling, raising those arms to be parallel with the ground. Exhaling as we bring the weights up to our sides. Squeezing through the shoulders, keeping those shoulders away from our ears. Our shoulder blades are actively pinched together, pulling them down and back. We shouldn't be feeling this in our neck. We want to only feel it in the shoulders. If you feel like you're starting to swing the weights up, go ahead and grab a lighter set. 2 more here. Last one. Great job, everyone. All right, once we finish those, getting on the ground for our dead bugs. So on our back, nice and flat. Knees are 90-degree angles from the hips, ankles 90s from the knees. Dumbbells straight above our head. So that's going to help us keep that core activated, protecting our pelvis, pushing the belly button into the ground. And we're going to inhale, exhale as we come back to center with those knees. So we're doing 10 to 12 on each side. Pretend like we got that apple sitting on our belly button and we're crushing it with our core as we come back to that starting position. If you're not feeling it in your core, really make sure you're pushing that belly button and you're exhaling as we come up to make sure that we are not using our hip flexors. We start to feel in our hips, really take a second, get that core engaged. Keeping that low back on the ground. If you need to slow it down a little bit, slow it down. Great job, everyone. We're almost there. Keep pushing. And we got 2 more on each side. Exhaling. Last one each side here. Awesome job, everyone. All right, that is round 1 is done here. So we're going to aim to do 2 more of those. We should have enough time here. So grab a sip of water if you need it. Make sure we're staying hydrated. And we're going to go ahead and get started at the top with our squats. So again, you can have the weights next to you at your shoulders, whatever's most comfortable. I know I did the shoulders the first round, but now I'm going to do by my side. See how the difference feels, which one I like better. We're doing 10 to 12 of these. So with our squats, we're just going to squat down, squeeze the glutes, standing on up, making sure our knees, so the inside of the knee is tracking right past the inside of my second toe. I want to make sure if we're not feeling that our butt is getting down low enough, our stance might be a little bit too wide. So really making sure that we're standing about hip width apart here. Squeezing as we come up, keeping that core tight. Keeping our whole foot on the ground, squeezing through the heel, big toe, little toe, pushing the ground away from us. 2 more. And last one. Awesome. All right. When we finish those squats, up next, we're doing those overhead presses. So dumbbells at the shoulders, elbows are straight out. We're not letting those elbows dip down, keeping them straight out from the shoulders here. We're going to squeeze the shoulders, come up overhead and back down. Exhaling as we bring the weights above head. Making sure our core is nice and tight. So when we come up to the top, we're not arching our back. If we start to arch our back, it means the weight's a little too heavy. Great job, y'all. Keep pushing. Use those shoulders. We all know I love shoulders. 2 more here. Last one. Awesome. All right. When we're done with those reps here, move it on to the RDLs. So feet shoulder width apart. Dumbbells in front. Pushing those hips back as far as we can. We also want to make sure, just like with our squats, our heel, big toe, little toe, pushing the ground away from us as we squeeze our glutes. We don't have to bring the weight all the way to the ground, just far enough for us to feel that pull in the backs of our legs and our hamstrings. If we are going too far low and we start to feel our back curve in either direction, don't go down as far. We only want to do it until our form, we want to keep that form perfect for the whole range of motion here, preventing any injuries. We also want to make sure we're strengthening the correct muscles here. Great job, y'all. We're going to do 2 more here. Core tight. Last one. Great job. All right, up next, bent over rows. So same position as the bottom of our RDLs here. We are pushing our hips back, squeezing the armpits, bringing those dumbbells straight towards the butt. We want to make sure we're engaging our lats here. That's that giant muscle that comes right through the backs of our armpits and it ends all the way at our pelvis. So we want to make sure we're squeezing through here, activating our lats. So also help us have a little bit better posture during the day by strengthening that muscle. And we're going to go ahead and do 2 more. Last one. Wonderful. You guys are doing great. All right, up next, our side raises here. So keeping those hands outside of our legs, keeping that constant tension, pinkies towards the ceiling. So if you can see, my hand is facing this way as I come up. We're not this way, our palms are out away from us. So we're at the sides, exhaling straight up to parallel, keeping our shoulder blades pinned down and back. We're not shrugging up. Our ears are as far away from our shoulders as they can get. We're not using momentum, just using our shoulders. Great job, everyone. Keep pushing. We're gonna have nice and strong shoulders by the end of the day. Really important. 1 more here. Last one. Awesome. Great job, everyone. All right, last part of the circuit, laying on the ground, on our backs for dead bugs. Knees 90 degrees, arms straight in the air, getting that core assist. And we're going to inhale, extend one leg, exhale, bring it back to center. Pressing that belly button into the ground, crushing that apple with our stomach here as we bring that leg back towards our bodies, making sure we're not using our hips. Use that core. This is another great exercise for that low back strength. We're working on our pillar, our shoulders, torso, and hips here. Super important for most of our movement, not just in the gym, but in general. Great job, y'all. Keep going, doing awesome. Use that core. 2 more each side, pushing that back into the ground. Last one each side. Way to go, everyone. Awesome job. We're going to do that 1 more time through, and then we'll do a cool down. And then we can get on with the rest of this gloomy Thursday morning. I wish the sun was actually up right. Oh, I mean, I know it's up, but we can't see it. All right, grabbing those dumbbells, getting ready. We got squats coming up here. So holding the dumbbells either at your shoulders, at your sides, whatever's most comfortable for you today. This is gonna be our last round. So we're keeping that core tight, back flat, coming down as far as we can, keeping those feet hip width apart, squeezing our glutes, letting that knee track past the second toe. We're being explosive, pushing the ground away from us. Heel, big toe, little toe. Great job. Keep pushing. We're almost there. 2 more. Last one. Awesome job, you guys. Whew. Why am I out of breath already? All right, next part, overhead presses, dumbbells at the shoulders, elbows are parallel with the ground, slightly forward. We don't want them straight out, slightly forward here, pushing above our head, exhaling, keeping that core tight, just using our shoulders here. Awesome. Doing great. Pushing. We'll do 3 more here. Last 2. And last 1. Push. And we are done with shoulder presses today for now. We're definitely going to be doing them next week. Don't you worry. Up next, RDLs. Okay, so feet, shoulders apart. Slight bend in the knee. Push those hips back as far as we can. Squeeze the glutes back to center. Core is tight. Our shoulder blades are pinned together like we're cracking an egg with our shoulder blades, keeping that nice and tight. Chin is tucked. Squeezing the glutes as we come back up. Really push those hips back. If you feel like you can't push back any further, try and aim to push them a little bit further every time. Really getting good angles in the hips and the knees here. 2 more. Last one. Awesome. Great job, you guys. All right, next up, bent over rows. So same position here as the RDLs, squeezing through the armpits, bringing those dumbbells towards our butt. Our shoulder blades are still pinned back, like we got that egg that we're cracking in between our shoulder blades. Great job. Keep pushing. We're almost there. 2 more. Really pull the weight towards you. Last one. Awesome. Good job, you guys. All right, next up, we got those side raises. Hands staying on the outsides of our bodies, pinkies towards the ceiling, shoulder blades pinned down and back, raising the arms up and back down. Exhaling as we come up. Great job. Keep lifting those arms up, squeezing the shoulders, keeping the ears as far away from the shoulders as we can. Great job, you guys. 2 more. And last one. Awesome. You guys are doing great. Last part of the circuit, and then we'll get into that cool down. Dead bugs. So we're laying, back is flat on the ground, knees above the hips, 90-degree angles in the ankles and the knees, dumbbell straight above head. Push that belly button into the ground. Inhale, extend. Exhale, contract that abs. Contract your core. Crush that apple, making sure we're using our core, not our hip flexors. Great job, you guys. Pushing that belly button into the ground. Don't let that low back come up. Ready, 2 more on each side. The last one here. We can go ahead, set those dumbbells down, and we are done with our circuit. Great job, you guys. Go ahead and grab a sip of water if you need it. And then we're going to go ahead and get into our cool down. So we're going to be on our hands and our knees for that again. And what we're going to do now is similar to our warm-up. We're going to be on our hands and our knees. We're going to do the rocking again, but we're gonna do it with one leg straight out to the side. So we're gonna get a nice little hip stretch in here. So knees under the hips. I'm gonna start with my right leg, placing that right leg straight out to the side like a kickstand. My whole foot is on the ground here, and we're gonna rock back, bring the glute towards the heel. Feeling that stretch all in the hip and the inner thigh. After all those squats, it feels good here. So we're rocking back and forth. Keeping that core tight. We're going at our own pace here. You can hold at the bottom as long as it feels comfortable for you. Great job, you guys. One more here. Awesome. We can go ahead and switch over to the other side. So now my right leg was out to the side. Now my left leg's gonna be out to the side. So same thing, straight out to the side, heel big to little toe on the ground. And we're rocking back, glutes to the heels. Hold for as long as you want at the bottom and then come back up to center. Great job. Really feel that stretch, opening up our hips here. And wherever we're at, we're gonna go ahead and make this one our last one. Awesome. All right, next thing we're gonna do, similar again to our warm-up. So we're gonna actually reach through with one hand, but we're just gonna plant it there and stretch our upper back. So instead of going up and around, I'm gonna start with my right hand, sliding it through my left leg and my left arm. Head on the ground, push that back of the hand into the ground, pull away with your upper back. So we should start to feel that stretch right under the shoulder blades, which our shoulder blades got a lot of work this morning with all the rows and the RDLs here. Breathing nice and deep into our chest, exhaling nice and slow. Really starting to slow our breathing down here. And one more inhale. And on the exhale, we can return that hand back under our shoulder. We're going to switch over to the other side. So same thing now, my left arm is going to reach through my right arm and my right leg, head on the ground, push the back of the hand into the ground, pull away with your upper body. So again, inhaling nice and deep into the chest. And exhaling nice and slow, slowing our breathing down. Awesome job. And one more big inhale. And slowly exhale, returning that hand under the shoulder. And you can either stay there, or you can make your way to standing, however you'd like to end this class. But that is all we have time for. Thank you all so much for coming. I love starting my Thursdays working out with y'all. Don't forget, we do have Exercise with Exos at 12 p.m. today with me. It's going to be another fun workout as always, so I hope to see you all there. We do also have 2 stretch breaks today, one at 11 and one at 2:30. And then there's also an abs and mobility class with Brittany tonight at 4:30. So we got lots of stuff today. More classes tomorrow. We got that sports performance and mindset reset with me at 7. So I hope to see you all there as well. And as always, you can check out our SharePoint site and Slack channel for more information. But thank you all for joining me. Great job. And I hope you all enjoy your morning.